This is the WYBOT C2 vision. It actually sees dirt and goes after it, which means I spend less time babysitting my pool and more time enjoying clean water. It is a robotic pool vacuum built for people like me who want the pool to look good without turning pool care into a chore. If you have trees nearby, if wind blows grit into the water, or if you just want the walls and floor handled without dragging out hoses or manual vacuums, this is the type of tool that quietly takes over that job. I would call it a set it down, let it work kind of cleaner, and that is exactly how I have been using it. Design matters because it affects how often I reach for the net or how often I have to manhandle the robot. The WYBOT C2 Vision has a streamlined shell that looks simple and purposeful. It feels solid in the hands without being awkward. The gray finish stays clean looking and does not show scuffs easily. What I notice day to day is the balance between sturdiness and manageability. It is not feather light, but with the included retrieval hook, I never feel like I am wrestling it. The underside has a wide brush that matters a lot in practice. It scrubs as it climbs, and it helps loosen the grime that sticks near the waterline. The intake opening is larger than what I had on older robots, which means leaves and small pebbles actually go in instead of getting stuck at the mouth. There is a rubber piece around that intake that keeps debris from slipping back out when I pull the unit or power it off. Small touch, big difference when you do not want to re-clean the same spot. Setup took almost no thought. Out of the box, I did not have to assemble a maze of parts. I attached the universal retrieval hook to my 6-year-old pool pole, and it fit perfectly. Turning the unit on gives you a clear color indicator on the top. When it glows blue, it is ready to work. When it shows a different color, it needs a charge. That quick glance check has become part of my routine. After a session, I lift it with the hook, give it a quick shake so the water drains, set it down to let it drip for a minute, and plug it into the charging adapter. From empty to full takes around 3 hours. In energy-saving mode, I get roughly a full cleaning session of about 3 hours out of a charge, which covers my medium-sized pool without stress. The heart of the experience is how it behaves in the water. I went in a little skeptical of the artificial intelligence camera. I have seen that phrase slapped on all kinds of gadgets. Here it actually matters. The camera helps the robot identify noticeable debris. When it spots a cluster of leaves or a small rock, it pauses, ramps up suction, and takes a real shot at it. If it does not nail it on the first pass, it will circle back and try again. I tested this by tossing 4 or 5 rocks of different sizes into my pool. It picked up all but one on the first try, and that last small piece took a couple of extra passes. Watching it stop, adjust, and then keep after that spot convinced me the camera is doing something beyond marketing. Most robots I have owned just roam in a pattern and hope for the best. This one reacts. Navigation has been consistently reliable for me. It makes its way across the floor, climbs walls, and goes right up to the waterline where that brush gets to work. I have not seen it tangle itself or sit there spinning in circles, which used to be an occasional headache with older units. It moves with purpose and does not panic when it meets a drain cover or a slope. It is also quiet. I can sit with a book or have coffee while it works and barely notice it. There is no high-pitched whine, just a low hum underwater. Filter maintenance is the part I usually dread with pool robots. On this one, it is easy. The filter compartment opens with a latch, the basket lifts out, and I hose it off in less than a minute. It ships with a fine filter that you can install, and I recommend using it during spring and fall when pollen and small particles make the water look dusty. In my yard, trees drop tiny bits of debris constantly. After a single run, the fine filter was packed with things I would otherwise be chasing with a net. The compartment design helps keep the mess contained, so I am not dripping sludge everywhere while I clean it. I have been using the companion application to adjust modes and check status. It is straightforward, even if you are not into tinkering with settings. I did have a couple of moments where the application lost connection. Restarting the application brought it back quickly, so it is not a deal breaker, but it is worth mentioning if you want bulletproof connectivity every single time. I treat the application as a convenience instead of a lifeline, and that mindset has worked well. Let me talk about a few real situations. After a windy night, my pool usually looks like a salad bowl. Leaves, twigs, and grit collect on the shallow end steps and in two corners by the deep end return jets. With the WYBOT C2 Vision, I put it in energy-saving mode and let it run while I do other chores. By the time I come back a few hours later, the steps are clear, the corners are noticeably cleaner, and the filter basket is holding the proof. If there is a stubborn bit in the absolute far corner, I still sometimes see one stray leaf or a small clump that the robot did not grab. I scoop that out by hand and move on. That last 1% is the kind of thing that makes sense when you remember real pools have odd currents and awkward geometry. For everything else, the robot handled it. I also ran a test on wall cleaning because many robots claim they climb but then give up halfway. This one climbs consistently and keeps contact long enough to scrub near the waterline, which is where sunscreen and oils tend to stick. After a week of daily runs, the ring at the top of the tile line looked lighter without me brushing it by hand. That is a big win for me because wall maintenance is the least fun part of pool care. In terms of daily use, I have settled into a simple routine. I drop it in while I make breakfast. It cruises calmly and I barely hear it. Later, I hook it out, pop the filter, hose it, and put it on charge. Because the run time and charge time match up so neatly, I do not feel like I have to plan around it. For bigger weekend gatherings, I will run a quick top-up session in the afternoon, and the water looks clean and inviting without a scramble. There are a few quirks. The unit weighs around 24 pounds. That is heavier than some older models I have owned. If you reach down from the deck and try to grab it by hand every time, it can feel awkward. The retrieval hook solves that, so I use the hook the way it was meant to be used. The docking station adhesive did not impress me. When the unit was wet, the dock did not always hold its position as well as I wanted. I mostly skip the dock now and plug the adapter directly, which has been faster and more reliable. And as I mentioned, once in a while it will leave a tiny patch in a far corner that I can clear in a few seconds with a net. What stands out as genuinely helpful are the small smart touches. The color indicator on the button lets me know the status without guessing. The camera not only sees debris, but also changes the vacuum behavior in real time, which is what makes it feel responsive rather than robotic. The wide intake and that little rubber retainer mean fewer frustrating clogs and fewer moments where debris spills back out. The filter design keeps cleanup painless, so I do not put it off. The navigation handles floors and walls with the confidence I want, and the quiet operation means I can let it work in the background whenever I want. So who is this for? If you care about a pool that stays ready without constant babysitting, if you have leaves and small debris coming in from surrounding trees, if you want a cleaner that actually goes after problem spots instead of wandering aimlessly, the WYBOT C2 Vision makes a strong case. If you expect a feather-light robot or you are set on using a dock that holds firm to every surface, this might require a small adjustment in how you handle it. For me, the trade-off is worth it. I get reliable floor and wall cleaning, a battery that comfortably covers a standard session, a filter system that is quick to maintain, and a camera system that helps the robot respond to what is actually in the water. I am happy with it because it reduces the amount of time I think about pool cleaning. I can drop it in, let it do its thing, and enjoy clear water without fuss. That is the real benefit here. Less hassle, more swimming, and a cleaner pool day after day. I will leave all the information about the WYBOT C2 Vision in the comments. I hope to see you again in the following videos.